My beloved child, come close and listen with your heart, not with the noise of your thoughts or the ache of your waiting. I see you. I know the way your chest tightens when you think about him. I know the questions you replay late at night, the prayers you whisper when no one else is listening, the quiet tears you wipe away because you do not want to seem weak for hoping so deeply. I am not distant from any of this. I am nearer than your breath, and I am speaking to you now. You wonder why he says he loves you, why his eyes soften when your name is spoken, why his soul leans toward yours in ways that cannot be faked, and yet why his feet have not walked away from her. You have asked me if his love is real or if you are imagining something that does not exist. Hear me clearly. His love for you is not the question that troubles heaven. I know what lives in his heart. I know the moments when he compares what he feels with you to everything else in his life and realizes how different it is. I know the fear that follows those realizations, the guilt, the confusion, the weight of choices already made. Love, real love, does not always produce immediate courage. Sometimes it exposes the places where courage is missing. He has not stayed because he does not care. He has stayed because he does. That sounds painful to hear, but let me explain it to you the way only I can. There are people who leave easily because nothing meaningful is holding them. There are people who walk away without trembling because they have never learned the cost of breaking bonds, promises, or expectations. The fact that he has not left yet does not come from indifference, it comes from fear, obligation, history, and the heavy burden of not wanting to be the villain in anyone's story. Love has awakened him, but awakening is not the same as action. Many wake up before they learn how to move. I know you have wondered if you are being punished, if this waiting is a test, or if you have done something wrong to deserve loving someone who cannot fully choose you yet. Let me take that burden from you right now. You are not being punished. You are not less worthy because someone else has not found the strength to rearrange their life. Your value does not rise or fall with his decisions. I did not create you to be an option, a secret, or a placeholder. I created you to be chosen freely, openly, and without hesitation. Still, I have not been silent in this season. Even in what feels like delay, I am working with precision you cannot yet see. There are things in him that must come into the light before any future can stand without collapsing. There are patterns, fears, and dependencies that love alone cannot heal. If he were to leave without facing these things, he would bring them with him, and they would wound you in ways far deeper than this waiting ever could. I love you too much to allow that. You see only the pain of the present moment. But I see the full path. I see how rushed decisions made from emotional intensity can turn into long-term sorrow. I see how unhealed guilt can poison even the most beautiful connection. I see how unresolved ties can follow people like shadows, returning when least expected. This is why I am careful. This is why I move slowly even when your heart begs me to hurry. Do not confuse my patience with passivity. I am not ignoring your prayers. I collect every one of them. I hear you when you ask me to either make him choose you or remove him from your heart so you can breathe again. I hear you when you say you are tired of being strong. I hear you when you tell me you just want peace. And I promise you this, peace is not something I withhold. Peace is something I prepare. There is also something important I want you to understand about love itself. Love does not trap. Love invites. If he truly loves you in a way that can become healthy and whole, that love will eventually require truth, courage, and sacrifice from him. Love will not allow him to remain divided forever. One day, the weight of staying will become heavier than the fear of leaving, or the realization will come that he cannot offer you what you deserve. Either way, clarity will arrive. I do not allow genuine connections to remain in endless confusion. Confusion is not my language. You have been learning something in this season, even if it feels cruel. You have been learning how deeply you can feel, how fiercely you can love, and how much you need honesty, security, and presence. You have been learning that crumbs of affection are not enough for you. You have been learning that being chosen privately is not the same as being chosen fully. These lessons are not meant to harden you, they are meant to refine you. When this chapter turns, you will not accept less than what aligns with your soul. I know you are tempted to measure your worth against her, to wonder what she has that you do not. Release that comparison. She is not your enemy, and you are not in competition. Different roles exist in different seasons of people's lives. What connects him to her is not what connects him to you. History, familiarity, and obligation are powerful forces, but they are not the same as alignment, depth, and growth. Do not diminish yourself by comparing different kinds of bonds. You are not wrong for loving him. You are not foolish for hoping. But I am asking you to trust me more than you trust the outcome you desire. If this love is meant to continue, it will come to you clean, honest, and unburdened. You will not have to share space with doubt or secrecy. If it is not meant to continue, I will untangle your heart gently, even if it does not feel gentle at first. I am not cruel with the hearts of my children. Right now, your task is not to wait in anxiety or to put your life on hold. Your task is to live, to grow, to stay open, and to remain rooted in truth. Do not shrink yourself to make room for someone else's indecision. Do not silence your needs to keep a fragile connection alive. Speak honestly, love wisely, and guard your heart without closing it. I will handle what you cannot control, remember this, and let it settle deep within you. Someone who truly belongs with you will not need to be convinced at the cost of your peace. Love that comes from me does not leave you constantly questioning your place. It may challenge you, stretch you, and ask you to grow, but it will not keep you in a state of quiet suffering indefinitely. I am with you in this moment. Not just at the ending you are waiting for. I am holding you when the thoughts come, when the longing rises, when you feel foolish for still caring. You are not foolish. You are human, and you are deeply capable of love. That is not something to be ashamed of, it is something to be honored, trust me. I am not late. I am not confused. And I am not indifferent to your pain. What is meant to stay will become clear. What is meant to leave will loosen its grip. And you, my beloved, will not be left behind in this. My beloved, let me continue, because there is more you need to hear, and your heart is ready for deeper truth now. I know that after everything I have already whispered to you, there is still a quiet ache sitting beneath your understanding. You understand with your mind, but your heart still asks, why does it have to hurt like this if love is real? I do not dismiss that question. I honor it. Love that has no cost is not the kind of love that transforms a soul. And yet, I never designed love to become a prison for you. What you are feeling right now is not punishment, it is tension. It is the tension between what is awakening and what has not yet been released. You are standing in the space where truth has entered but courage has not fully followed. That space is uncomfortable, and I know it feels unfair that you are the one carrying the weight of it. Let me tell you something very gently. His staying is not a reflection of your inadequacy, and his delay is not a sign that you are second best. What holds him there is not love in its purest form, it is attachment, fear of fallout, fear of being judged, fear of disappointing people who have expectations of him. Love for you has begun to reveal how empty those fears are, but revelation often comes before surrender. Many people see the truth long before they obey it. You must understand how powerful fear can be when someone has built an identity around being good, loyal, or responsible. Walking away from something familiar can feel like destroying the version of themselves they have worked hard to protect. Love exposes that false security. Love asks questions he has been avoiding. Love confronts the lies he tells himself about obligation and duty. And when love does that, the first reaction is often paralysis, not movement. This is why you feel him pulling close emotionally and stepping back physically. His heart recognizes home in you, but his mind is terrified of the consequences of choosing it. That inner war is real. But listen to me carefully now, an inner war that lasts forever becomes a choice. And I will not allow you to remain indefinitely in the crossfire of someone else's unresolved battle. You may have noticed how this situation has been forcing you inward. You are becoming more aware of your own limits, your own desires, your own need for clarity. This is not accidental. I am strengthening you, not to endure pain endlessly, but to recognize when enough is enough. Strength is not only about holding on, sometimes it is about knowing when to let go with dignity and faith. I see how you sometimes blame yourself for wanting more. You tell yourself you should be patient, understanding, compassionate. And while compassion is beautiful, self-abandonment is not. I never asked you to erase yourself to make someone else comfortable. I never asked you to accept half-truths to preserve a fragile peace. Love that requires you to disappear is not love I endorse. There will come a moment, and it may arrive quietly or suddenly, when something shifts. Either he will step forward with honesty and action that matches his words, or the weight of this connection will begin to lift from your spirit. You will feel it when that happens. You will notice your breathing change. You will notice that the constant ache loosens. That will not be you giving up. That will be you being released. Until then, I ask you not to chase answers through overthinking or signs through constant questioning. Do not read meaning into every silence or every message. Let me do the unraveling. Let me handle the timing. Your role is to remain anchored in who you are, not who you are hoping he will become. You are not waiting because you are weak. You are waiting because you are listening. But hear this clearly now, waiting does not mean waiting forever. I am a God of seasons, not stagnation. When a season has completed its work, I close it. I do not leave my children stranded in uncertainty without purpose. You will not always feel like this. This longing will not define your story. One day, you will look back and realize that this season taught you how deeply you deserve to be chosen, how much you value truth over illusion, and how strong you are when you trust me instead of clinging to outcomes. Rest your heart tonight. You do not need to solve anything right now. You do not need to make promises to yourself about what you will do tomorrow. Just breathe. Just be held. I am still here, and I am still writing your story with care, intention, and love that does not fail. My beloved, stay with me a little longer. Let the noise fade, let the urgency soften, because there are layers beneath your pain that I am gently touching now. I know that part of you is afraid of what happens if this continues, and another part of you is afraid of what happens if it ends. You feel suspended between hope and grief, and that place feels unbearably lonely. But you are not alone here. I am present in this in-between space more than you realize. You have wondered if loving him has somehow placed you outside of my will. You have questioned whether you misheard me, whether your heart led you somewhere I never intended. Hear me clearly now, you did not wander away from me by loving deeply. I was with you when your heart opened. I was with you when the connection formed. I was with you when you felt seen, understood, and alive in ways you had not felt before. I do not punish my children for having open hearts. I guide them through what those hearts awaken. What hurts you most is not simply that he has not left her. What hurts you most is the feeling of being chosen emotionally but postponed in reality. That kind of love creates a unique ache because it validates your worth while delaying your security. It tells you you matter, but not yet. And not yet can slowly erode even the strongest spirit if it has no end in sight. I see that erosion beginning, and I will not ignore it. I want you to understand something sacred. Love that is meant to grow does not keep you shrinking. Love that is from me does not ask you to remain silent about your needs. Love that is aligned with your destiny does not keep you questioning whether you are asking for too much when you ask for honesty, availability, and courage. Those are not luxuries. Those are foundations. You may feel guilty for wanting clarity, as if asking for it will make you seem demanding or ungrateful. But clarity is not cruelty. Truth is not rejection. If something is real, it can withstand the light. If something collapses under the weight of honesty, it was already fragile. I am not asking you to issue ultimatums or force outcomes. I am asking you to honor the truth of what your heart requires. There is also something happening within you that you may not yet recognize. You are beginning to see that love alone cannot sustain a relationship. Shared values, aligned timing, emotional availability, and the willingness to choose openly all matter. You are growing out of the belief that intense feeling is enough. This growth is painful, but it is holy. It is preparing you for something healthier, whether that future includes him or not. Do not romanticize his inability to choose as proof of how deep his feelings are. Depth without direction can still lead to damage. Love without action can still wound. Compassion does not mean excusing patterns that hurt you. I am teaching you discernment, not cynicism. You will still love deeply, but you will no longer confuse intensity with readiness. You may fear that if you stop holding space for him, everything will disappear. But hear me, what is truly meant for you will not require you to cling. What is truly meant for you will meet you where you are, not only in secret moments or emotional refuge, but in real life, with real decisions. You are not losing anything by standing in truth. You are making room for alignment. I know you replay conversations, searching for reassurance, trying to remember the warmth in his voice, the sincerity in his words. Those moments were not lies. They were real expressions of what he feels. But feelings are only one part of love. Love also chooses. Love also acts. Love also risks. Until those elements appear, you must not build your future on potential alone. Trust me when I say this, I am not asking you to close your heart tonight. I am asking you to loosen your grip. There is a difference. Closing hardens you. Loosening frees you. You can still care without carrying the weight of his indecision as your burden. You can still love without putting your life on pause. Very soon, you will notice subtle shifts within yourself. You will feel moments of calm where there used to be constant longing. You will feel clarity where there was confusion. These are not signs that you are becoming cold. These are signs that you are becoming whole again. Wholeness is not the absence of love, it is the presence of self-respect guided by my peace. I promise you this with all the tenderness of heaven, you will not miss what is truly yours. You will not be punished for choosing your peace. You will not be abandoned for trusting me with your heart. Whether he steps forward transformed or fades from this chapter, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the love you deserve. Stay open. Stay grounded. Stay with me. The story is still unfolding, and I am holding every page with care. My beloved child, this is where I want you to rest now, not in answers that satisfy every question, but in truth that steadies your soul. You have carried this quietly for so long. You have been strong in places no one applauded, faithful in moments no one saw, patient when everything in you wanted certainty. I see that endurance, and I honor it. But I do not want you to confuse endurance with your destiny. There comes a moment when love must stop being an ache and start being a shelter. Love must stop feeling like something you survive and start feeling like something that supports you. If you are honest with yourself, you know this season has been teaching you that difference. I have been whispering to you through the heaviness. Through the pauses, through the moments when your heart felt tired instead of excited. Those whispers were not meant to scare you, they were meant to wake you gently. You do not need to prove your worth by how long you can wait. You do not need to earn love through patience that costs you your peace. I never asked you to suffer quietly to be chosen loudly someday. I asked you to trust me, even when trusting me means loosening your hold on something you wanted to work so badly. If he loves you in a way that is meant to become whole, that love will eventually demand alignment from him. It will not allow him to remain divided forever. And if he cannot rise to that moment, that does not mean the love was meaningless. It means it was incomplete. Incomplete love can still be real, but it cannot be your home. I know there is a part of you that fears letting go because you do not want to lose what felt special, what felt rare, what felt like recognition. But listen to me now. What I have prepared for you will not require secrecy to survive. It will not ask you to accept confusion as a permanent condition. It will not make you question whether you are asking for too much when you ask for presence, commitment, and courage. You are not walking away from love when you choose peace. You are walking toward a version of love that does not drain you. You are not failing this story by trusting me more than you trust hope alone. You are honoring yourself, and in doing so, you are honoring me. Let yourself release the need to control how this ends. Let yourself step out of the role of waiting and into the role of living again. You do not have to harden your heart to do this. You simply have to stop feeding a future that depends entirely on someone else's fear. I am proud of the way you have loved. I am proud of the way you have tried to understand instead of accuse, to feel instead of numb, to hope instead of close off. But now, I want you to feel something else too. I want you to feel relief. Relief that you are not responsible for fixing this. Relief that you do not have to carry the weight of his decision-making. Relief that your life is not on hold in my hands. Whatever happens next will not break you. You are not fragile the way you think. You are becoming clearer, steadier, more rooted in truth. And that clarity will guide you exactly where you need to go. If he is meant to walk beside you, he will come free, honest, and ready. If he is not, I will gently close this chapter and open another that feels lighter on your chest. You are safe with me. You are seen. You are deeply loved. And no matter how this story resolves, you will not be left empty. I fill what I close. I restore what I release. I lead my children forward, not backward. Rest now. Trust me. I am already ahead of you, preparing peace where there was longing, certainty where there was confusion, and love that does not hesitate to choose you.